Sorry, I can't see very well. It's really sunny. Welcome, hello. Thanks for joining. If I miss your comment, I'm sorry, just DM me. Because it's kind of hard to see right now. But I had a really important message, so I wanted to come on here. I think I'll probably be posting this to, to YouTube as well. Hello. I'll probably be posting this to YouTube as well, and, but this is a really important message because, for those of you that have been following me on my Instagram stories, you know that I recommended the book 5 Second Rule by Mel Robbins, and the principle's really good, but then today I was reading it and I actually had to stop. Actually, I was listening to it, but I had to stop because she said something that triggered me, and I don't think she meant fully what she said. I think it was within context, but I wanted to talk about it because it's a really important message. And what she said was, your feelings don't matter, and that is the biggest lie anyone can ever tell you. That is the biggest lie you can tell yourself, and that is also the most detrimental thing that you could ever tell yourself or anybody. So first of all, don't ever tell anybody your feelings don't matter, because they do. They are the most important thing. That's what separates the humans from the other creatures on Earth. It's what tells us we're alive. It's what tells us that we can connect with other human beings. It's what tells us that we have dreams and hopes and faith. So your feelings are really, really, really important, and there's nothing more important than your feelings. Not success, not money, there's nothing more important than your feelings. So the fact that somebody would say, and I think it was within the context of, if you don't feel like doing something and you know that it's good for you, do it anyway, context. However, like, the fact that somebody says don't to ignore your feelings like that, it was just like a major thing for me of like, no, I need to talk about this because it's really important. Even if you guys didn't read the book, this is a really important topic, because if your mental health is off, this is why I talk about it so much. If your mental health is off, if you haven't dealt with emotions, then you're gonna have a lot of issues. If you have a lot of undealt with emotions, then you're going to have those emotions in there. It's like having a bottle inside of your chest, and if you stuff these emotions down, it starts to fill the bottle, and eventually that bottle doesn't have any more room to expand, and so your emotions come out in a very unhealthy and a bad way. Whether it be anger, whether it be anxiety, depression, they come out in many horrible ways. And I've spent many years dealing with it and coming to the point of recognizing that feelings matter. They are so important. I used to go around saying I hate feelings and wish we didn't have them, but I think they're actually really valuable. It's what can propel us forward to go pursue our dreams. And when you don't, I just totally lost my train of thought. I was going to say something and forgot what it was. What was it? See, this is me live. When I do my YouTube videos, I can edit when I have brain farts out. So there's nothing more important than taking care of your emotions. I've been to counselors, therapists, coaches, you name it. I've done it. I've been to good ones, I've been to bad ones, and I had a lot of deep things happen, and so I had a lot of things to work through. But yes, there's a time and place for, if you don't feel like doing something, do it anyway. But at the same time, if you feel like that all the time, if you're like, I don't feel like doing this, and doing it anyway, eventually what's going to happen is you're going to burn out. Eventually what's going to happen is pure willpower is going to be completely exhausting. And not only that, if you're constantly feeling like that, then there's a deeper issue. Then you have to figure out what that is, and maybe that means going to a counselor or a therapist. Maybe it means medications. I actually took medication briefly. It was not the right choice for me. So that didn't last long, and I have done everything in my power to stay off the medication. But you got to do what you need to do. If it doesn't take medication, I highly recommend that route. But sometimes it does, and there's no shame in going to a counselor, no shame in going to a therapist, even if it doesn't seem like your issues are all that big. Coaches are great. It depends on your coach and what level of help you need, because some coaches aren't equipped to deal with mental health issues because they just don't know how. But I'm actually working with a business coach. She actually has a background in psychology, so it's great. But yeah, so just know your feelings are really, really important, and don't ever say they don't matter, because they do. Don't ever say just ignore them, because if you keep ignoring them, they're not going to go away. They just get buried down in there and come out in a unhealthy way instead. So I just really wanted to make that message clear. Hello, Joy. I'm actually getting ready to end, Joy, but you are welcome to watch the replay. I'm in the parking lot because I was like, the second I'm done here, I need to do this live because it's an important message. Yeah, bottling things up is not a good thing to do. Good morning. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon here, 3 p.m. What time is it there, Joy? Yeah, so my point is, so sorry I'm rambling a little bit, but my point is, don't ever say to yourself your feelings don't matter, because they do. They are very, very important. There's a reason we have feelings, and there's a reason that we have emotions, and no other creatures really have the same emotions we do. Like they might like feel things to an extent, like clearly they feel physical pain, but like they might feel things like emotionally to a certain extent, but not to the same extent that humans do. And it's a big thing that separates us from the other creatures. And there's a reason that it's, oh wow, so late. Are you just getting up, or are you going to bed, Joy? There's a reason that we have emotions. So, and take exercise for instance. If you're constantly not wanting to exercise, I know for me it's usually an emotional issue. Sometimes it's like the actual exercise, but I think that's okay. So if this is just an example, but if exercise is an issue and you're constantly going, I don't want to do it, and you're either pushing through or you're saying, forget it, I don't want to do it, because every day I don't want to do it, there's a deeper issue than just not wanting to exercise, because I think we are naturally born to want to move. And so either you're not doing exercises that you like, and there's so many movements, so there are tons of exercises. I promise you can find one that you like. So if that's the case, that's a pretty easy fix. But if it's a matter of it doesn't matter what you do and you still don't want to do it, then there's something deeper there. And I know that I've had my fair share of times where I had to work through emotions because I was constantly going, I don't want to go exercise, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do it. So our feelings are a gauge for when we have something within us that needs to be dealt with. So don't ever dismiss your emotions, because they're very, very important, and I cannot stress that enough. I want to write it on a billboard, put it in lights, and shout it from rooftops that your feelings matter and they are important. So I was just inspired to leave that message today. Like knowing your why, I talk about that a lot, and I talk about taking action a lot, and those things are important. But if you don't have your feelings dealt with, then it doesn't matter how clear your why is, and it doesn't matter how many actions you take, you're still going to majorly struggle if your feelings aren't in check. And they're a beautiful thing. They really are. I went from being like I said, I dealt with this for years and years and years, and it took me a long time to get to this point. It took a lot of work to get to this point. But I used to go around saying, I hate emotions, I hate feelings, but now I've come to realize they're actually a really beautiful thing, and that's what helps us connect with each other. That's what tells us we're alive. That's what helps us gauge where we're at and what we need to deal with. And just wanted to leave you guys with that message. I'm gonna hop off of here, but Joy and Sue, thanks so much for joining. I can't really see the screen very well, so sorry. Love you guys so much, and as always, dream big.